Alright people, it's Spratt here, and I'm actually really excited to do this commentary. I did one of these around December 2012, but I just sound so dull in it that I'm not going to put you guys through the pain of listening to that. So I'm just going to touch up on things I covered in that commentary, and I'll obviously discuss what happened after that and what happened recently. And yeah, I hope you guys are going to enjoy it. So the gameplay, I'm just going to throw in some map pack stuff and some ballista and XPR stuff and just some gameplays I've got stacked up. So I hope you guys enjoy that. But today I'm going to be talking about my weight loss story, you could say. I used to weigh a lot. Many of you may know I used to weigh a lot, and I'm not going to say how much I weighed because I still think that's kind of a bit personal. Right now I'm not at a stage where I want to show pictures or I want to tell people obviously how much I weighed. But I'll tell you how much I've lost, and I'll tell you the change in clothes sizes and stuff like that. So I'll say that first, and then I'll get into what happened. So June 2012 is when I weighed myself when I was at my biggest, and since then, it's now September 2013, I have lost 79 pounds, which is 5 stone 9, which is, a lot of weight, but that's not been an ongoing loss. I have put weight back on, and I'll talk to you guys about that in a second. Back in June 2012 I had a 40 to 42 inch waist, which was huge, and now I'm a 34 inch waist, so I've lost 6 to 8 inches on my waist, which is awesome as well. And then on shirt sizes, I have lost, well, I've gone from extra large or some large depending on the make, down to a medium in every shirt. So I've gone down 2 shirt sizes, which is awesome as well. So that's kind of the stats, really. That's what's happened over the last year and a bit. And I'm going to talk about how I got into the stage of being so overweight, and talk about how I got about motivating myself and how I lost all this weight. Hopefully it might motivate some of you guys, or for anyone who just wanted to learn a bit more about me and learn about the story, then this is for you, really. So now I'm 20 years old, and back when I was at my heaviest was I was just about to turn 19, and before college, which was a couple of years before that, I did a lot of sports. I used to play football a lot, golf a lot, tennis a lot, and I did obviously other sports as well, and I was quite active, and I just started to lose interest in those sports. I kind of got bored, and one by one I kind of quit playing them and got into something else I enjoyed, which was media. So when I went to college, after doing media for a couple of years at school, I went to college to study media. I also did ICT, which is computers, and then I did geography and English, but they're not relevant here. So I did a lot of computer work, and I got into this lifestyle of being quite lazy and laid back, and obviously stopped doing a lot of sports. So I just started to kind of put weight on, and that wasn't what I was obviously hoping for, but I started to obviously enjoy things that weren't good for your health, really. Obviously being at a computer all day is not very good, and I still do that now, but I've kind of obviously learned to work around that, and but back then I was just oblivious, and I started putting on a bit of weight just because I wasn't exercising. I was doing a lot of computer work and sitting down, desk work and stuff. But I wasn't eating really bad. But then I got to university, and I got on a course that was media as well. But at first year I lived at home, and it was a struggle to get to uni most days. It took about an hour journey on the bus. So on the journey back, I used to eat a lot of crap, like chocolate and crisps, just pass the time. And obviously when I got home, I was just getting home at random hours and just eating random food here and there, getting a lot of takeaways. And that's when I started to put on a lot of weight, because I did no exercise for years, and it was bad times. So I started to put on a lot of weight and just getting lazy, getting to this bad lifestyle of just sitting at my desk all day, or going out but not doing anything active, which was bad. So I had no motivation, really. I was just in a bad mindset, and I just didn't want to get up and lose weight, because it was a lot of effort, and that's one of the problems a lot of people have, and I had it as well, as you can see. They just can't motivate themselves. But there was one particular moment where I actually got motivation to lose weight, and I went on a cruise after my first year of university. I went on a family cruise, and when I got back, I was looking through the photos, and there was a photo of me just looking so overweight, the face just so chubby, and I was like, wow, I have really let myself go. I I just couldn't believe it of how much weight I put on in such little time, because at college I wasn't even that bad, and over the year, or over the last half of the year, I just put on a lot of weight, and I couldn't tell you how much weight that was because I never weighed myself before that June 2012 when I had weighed myself when I was at my highest. But I was just, I really was amazed at how much I put on, and I was just like, well, I've got to do something now because I just looked terrible. And I hated myself, and I just had no confidence, really. So back then, it was June 2012, like I said, and what I started to do, I started to go to the gym just to do cardio about 3 times a week. And I also start playing golf again because I do enjoy golf, and a lot of walking, you know, and it seems like I lost a lot of weight playing golf, which is, you know, obviously good, and if you're enjoying it, then that's obviously better as well. So gym 3 times a week and golf, and then I started to lose a bit of weight, and I wasn't eating super healthy because I really don't like healthy food like salads and stuff. I was just eating a little bit better, getting less takeaways, you know, and cutting portion size down a bit. And it started to work, and I started to lose weight in the summer, and I ended up losing from, what was it, June, July, August, September, October. So in about 4 or 5 months I lost 50 pounds, which is about 3.5 stone, which was great. And I moved into university for the second year, so I actually moved away from home. Got to university, and a lot of people were like, oh, you've lost a lot of weight, and I was like, yeah, thank you. And that was obviously a good feeling to see that people noticed, because I did obviously weigh a lot, and losing 3.5 stone, it's hard to not notice, you could say. So I moved out to uni, and I was like, I can't really get back in that lifestyle again that I had obviously in the previous year. I need to, you know, keep eating well and obviously doing a bit of exercise here and there, but I kind of stopped again. Started eating weirdly. I was living off bolognese and chicken pasta because that's what I enjoyed eating, and it was quick to cook, really. And obviously having a few takeaways, but I still lost some weight. And by the time Christmas came and I went home, I thought I'll weigh myself. I lost 1.5 stone, which is like 21 pounds. And I was like, how the hell have I done that? Because I was eating pretty much a lot of pasta and quite a few takeaways, and I wasn't doing exercise. The only exercise I could say I was doing was walking a lot to university, and I was walking around town a lot. I guess that is obviously a good thing. So I somehow lost 1.5 stone, so I was like, oh, that's awesome. Lost a bit more weight, but then I went back after Christmas, you know, had a lot of Christmas weight on me because obviously I came back home, and my mum's like smothering me with meals and obviously cooking a lot for me because I'm back at home. And then I went back to university, and I started getting lazy again. I started getting a lot of takeaways, spent a lot of money I didn't need to, you know. I lived next to loads of takeaways and loads of shops, and it just, I couldn't help myself from going and getting some chocolate here and there, or going and getting a Domino's or a Subway instead of cooking something. And I don't know why I let myself get into that state again, because I know what it's like, and I've been it before, and I was just, I don't know, I think it was because it was so easy, because I had the money, you know, saved up for university when I moved out, and it was just there, and all the shops were just there on my doorstep, and it was bad times. So it wasn't crazy. I didn't put all the weight back on, but I put on about 10-11 pounds in the, you know, time from Christmas to June, which isn't, you know, a huge amount, but obviously it's noticeable. And I was like, well, I've kind of done it again. I let myself get into that state, which I wish I never did. So I was like, well, I'm back from university now. I've got summer. I've got like 5-6 months of doing nothing. I might as well try and lose some weight. So I just relaxed for a bit, and then I was like, right, I want to do some exercise. I want to start eating better. I want to lose some more weight. I want to lose the rest of this fat from my body. And I was like, well, how am I going to do it? Because I didn't push myself at the gym. Back when I worked out last year, I had a lot of weight on me, so it wasn't as hard to lose it, because, you know, I didn't need to put as much effort in to obviously lose a bit of fat. But now I didn't have as much on me, it was harder to lose it, and I thought I need to find a way to push myself, because going to the gym and doing some cardio, a bit of weights, is not gonna lose this weight very quickly. So I had to push myself, and a lot of friends recommended a workout called Insanity, which is a 60-day workout, and you're just using your body. You do it from home. You're just using your body to basically lose weight and get fit and get toned. And it was so tough. I really, really didn't think I would stick with it, but I finished it. The first few days, I literally wanted to lay down in the shower because I just couldn't. I didn't want to stand up after I did the workout. I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm so tired. But that was because I hadn't worked out in about 8 months. Like, it's just, I don't know how I stopped myself from keeping fit, but it was tough. It really was. And I'm one of those guys that quits out on a lot of things. I'm one of those people who doesn't stick with something to the end. I always just give up. If it's something really tough, I'll just stop doing it. But with this, I was really motivated to lose a lot of weight and to finish it, and that was my goal, to finish it, because 60 days is a long time doing a workout pretty much every day, and it never got easy. It was always tough from start to finish, and I'm really proud that I finished it. But at the time, I wasn't eating how they recommended. For the first 3 weeks, I still ate a lot of pasta. I was eating bolognese and lasagna and chicken pasta. Oh, I don't think I had chicken pasta that much, but I was still eating a lot of bolognese and pasta. I'm pretty sure it's quite hard to burn off, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure it's one of those foods. So I was like, for the first 3 weeks, I was like, well, I'm not really losing much. I think I lost about 6 pounds, which is obviously good, but for the effort I was putting into it, and I was doing the workout so well, only having the odd break, the odd day, like during the workout, I was only having a few seconds break when I needed to, otherwise I'd pass out. I was doing it well, and I was like, well, it must be when I'm eating, because surely I should be losing a lot more if I'm working this hard. So after the first 3 weeks of eating bad, I ate how they recommended, and if you look at the nutrition guide they do, it's kind of like a new eating plan that I started to do, and you eat 5 times a day, but you set each meal up to be about, well, it depends on your weight and depends what you're doing. If you're doing weight gain, you obviously eat more. If you're doing weight loss, you eat less, or whatever. And I started eating around 300 calorie meals, 5 of those a day. So I was eating 1500 calories a day, which at the time I thought, I might as well go for it. I don't know if it's enough, but we'll see. And for the first month, because first month of insanity isn't as hard as the second month, I was doing fine, and I was losing weight, and I was like, oh, this is okay. The second month, I was struggling. I needed to sleep more. I had an extra hour and a bit onto my sleep. Not like me choosing to. I literally had to sleep like 9.5 hours or something, or 9 hours, and it was bad. So I was like, well, I'm probably not eating enough to keep my energy going. So I upped my calories to about 400 or 350, and I was still losing weight, and obviously got my sleeping better, and it was good. And to be honest, I was eating stuff I enjoyed. I really was, because I've always had this idea that if you're going to eat healthy, you're going to eat stuff that you dislike. And I've always had that mindset for some reason, and I don't know why, because there's a lot of stuff out there that's good for you, and I really do enjoy. And if you look at the nutrition guide, there's a lot of stuff that's actually good for you that you probably will enjoy. And I still eat like that now, and I love it, because there's so many things that are actually really tasty and actually quite good for you. So back to the losing weight bit, I was eating like that, and I was doing the workout, and I stuck with it the whole time, and I ended up losing almost 20 pounds, which was awesome, because I was eating well. It keeps your metabolism going. That's what you do the 5 meals for. It keeps your metabolism going and starts burning, and it was great, because I never thought I would stick with it and actually finish it. And that was a real, I don't know, a good moment in my life for sticking with it, and obviously finishing it to the end. So I was obviously happy with how much I lost, but I still thought I could have lost a bit more if I ate well at the start. But then I realised it's not really a big deal for me now. I still check every week to see how much I weigh and if I'm losing or gaining weight. But during insanity, I realised, I'm gaining a lot of muscle. I'm building a lot of muscle as well as losing fat, and obviously muscle weighs more than fat, so I'm not going to lose all the time, especially depending on the workouts. But I'm already a big guy. I've got a big chest, broad shoulders, big thighs, so I'm always going to weigh more than the average person. And sometimes I hate having this build, because I blame my dad, because he has the exact same build as me. Sometimes I hate it, sometimes I love it, but it's who I am, really. So I obviously have to deal with it. But to me now, I don't care if I lose much more weight, because I was talking to my dad, and he was doing sports at the same age as me. same age as I am now, and he weighed pretty much the same, and he was doing all these sports, and he looked the same as me. So I know I'm not going to lose a lot more weight if I even try to, but it's just nice to know that I've got to a stage where I'm happy. Well, I'm pretty much happy with my body now, you could say. Yeah, that was pretty much me done with Insanity. I finished around the 27th, I'm pretty sure. Weighed myself, I was happy. Last few weeks of Insanity, I only lost a couple of pounds, but I was toning up, and I was obviously losing fat and gaining muscle, which was great. So overall, I lost pretty much 20 pounds from Insanity, and from now on, I am planning on doing the odd Insanity workout just to keep fit, and obviously burn off the takeaway that I get or something like that. And I think that's my goal for when I go to university, is just to stick with it, stick with my eating, how I'm eating now. I think that's obviously working well for me. And then obviously if I ever take away here and there, or if I go out and eat something I shouldn't need to eat but I just do it anyway, just go and do a workout and burn it off, and just keep fit as well as enjoying myself with food, enjoying the life of uni, and I think that's going to be great. I'm kind of excited to see everyone's reaction again, because I did, obviously the first year where I lost a lot of weight, they noticed, and then now I've lost more again, and it's so much more noticeable now. It's great. I've lost all the weight in my face, so much thinner, and you guys probably seen from the live commentaries. I just much more happier, and it's been great, and it's been totally worth it, and all the hard work that I put into it. And I still hate myself for getting in that situation that I was, being so overweight, but I've come out on top, I think, and I'm really learnt now. And when I move back to university, I'm not going to fall into that trap again of being in a state where I just get takeaways and just be lazy all the time. I'm going to keep fit, and I'm going to keep eating well, and I'm really excited to do that. And that's pretty much it. I hope I covered everything. For those who need the motivation, I hope that helped. For those who didn't, I hope you learned something about me. I think I ticked that box. And if you have any questions about what I've done or whatever, leave me in the comments. I'll reply to as many people as I can. Thanks for watching the video. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.